When can getting service on your truck be a good thing? A couple weeks ago, I had to take my truck in for service. There was a recall issue on it, so I took it in and was told that it would be at least an hour and a half, probably a couple hours before it was ready. And I contemplated whether I took them up on their offer for a ride to the office so I could get back to the office and be productive, or if I would just sit there and wait for it. And I decided to not go back to the office, to sit there. I brought my my laptop and some work with me, and it turned out to be a great morning. It was first thing in the morning. I was there about 7:30, and it was fantastic. While I was waiting for my truck, I was able to get caught up on so much work that was sort of lingering out there. It was on my to-do list. It wasn't a huge priority. It kept getting pushed. But it was just kind of hanging over my head. And so I just sat there. They had the little workstation set up. I just knocked those things off one by one off of my list. I answered some emails. I got some things scheduled, all things that I was just putting off. And it was just, they're kind of cluttering my head, even though I had them on my task list. I just didn't like the fact that I kept putting them off. And so really use that time to be productive in that way. I got some reading done that I'd been wanting to catch up on. You know, I'm a big proponent of reading every day, but sometimes I don't, to be honest. Sometimes I get busy like other people and the reading slips. And so I really had time to dive into some reading. I finished a book that I was into, and that was all great. And so it just got me thinking. I came back to the office so refreshed, felt like lightened up from having these things taken care of, felt like I had a clean slate and I could come in and now I could be really productive. And I feel like if I had just came back in the office earlier, I'd have continued to push those things and worked on other things. And so once in a while, you just got to clean up that mess. And it got me thinking about where else or how else have I done that? Where could I do that and be intentional about it? And, traveling when, especially by plane, is a great way to do that. Downtime in the airport, sometimes getting to the airport an hour early or so, and using that quiet time to catch up on work. When you're traveling back from being somewhere, that's great time to catch up on that. I'm trying to think how often, sometimes I don't need that time, but maybe monthly, at least once a quarter for sure. Usually once a month, I can use a good cleanup time. I just had one the other night where I had a late dinner scheduled, and I just stayed at the office and it was quiet, and I hammered through things. And so I would encourage you, whether you're a leader or not, to look at your schedule, look at your task list, and find those times when you don't have to necessarily be productive in the sense that you're just in the grind at work, but you get some quiet time, you get some space, you catch up on some things you've been procrastinating on, pushing off, catch up on some reading, and see if you feel the same way I did, where you come back just refreshed, feel like your head is empty. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but feel like you're clear and ready to go and do some real work on your business organization. So let me know what you think.